As we're sitting here right now, more documents are expected to be unsealed in the coming weeks. So what should we look out for next? What's on your radar?
Well, of course, drilling down on these depositions that are being unmasked, is certainly interesting. Looking for tidbits that connect pieces of information that we know from the puzzle. The more names that become completely transparent, the more that we will really be able to understand the complexity of this story. And you have to understand that there has been dozens and dozens and dozens of lawsuits that have been filed in the years. We've had Virginia Roberts-Giuffre, who really, it was her case against Ghislaine Maxwell, the defamation case. That's really where these documents are coming from. That was a case that was settled a few years ago when Ghislaine Maxwell had to pay damages to Virginia Roberts-Giuffre. These are documents that remain from that particular case that had been sealed, and now for the first time the judge has decided that we're going to be able to see all the names. So I think while we know the nucleus of the story, it really is important for there to be complete transparency. Now, there are some names of some of the minor victims that are still going to remain confidential, that are still going to remain sealed, which is, of course, the right thing to do. There's an individual who lives in a foreign country who has expressed to the court that if this individual's name comes forward, that the person can face serious issues where she lives. So, of course, let's protect those minor victims. But in terms of the others, in terms of the men, the associates, the people who had the dinners with Jeffrey Epstein, let's learn about all of them, and let's learn about really what they knew and what they knew at the time. Going back to what I said earlier about David Copperfield, this is somebody, a big entertainer who pretty much figured out exactly what was going on way back when. But as far as we know, he didn't tell anybody. He didn't go to any authorities. But again, this is the nature of this case. One victim, as we know, went to the FBI early on in this case. And it was more than 10 years before the FBI went back to her and finally interviewed her. So, the most troubling thing is that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell got away with this for so long when so many people knew what was happening, but didn't raise their hands and didn't shout from the rooftops and didn't bring in the authorities early on. So that's to me the most troubling aspect.